myself and only me. So today we're entering in goddess Hecate. Goddess Hecate, who is a very bad seen from the religion, especially Christianity. She's banned. She's like Lilith. Why? Because she's a very powerful goddess that actually represents, I would say she's very, very close to the most sacred masculine inside us, because she holds the keys to the shadow, and she is the words of the truth. She is also a goddess of a menstrual cycle, and she is the goddess who is responsible for the last week before the menstruation. And this is a quite difficult week for many women, especially women who are living a life that is not resonating with what their spirit wants to live. This goddess is showing you the truth. So actually, she's the goddess of a deep introspection. She helps you penetrate literally your shadow with a light and look what is inside there. And when I'm saying shadow, I mean all these parts of ourselves that are negative and positive. There are also parts there that we don't want to see because they are not accepted by others. But also there are parts that are very positive that also we do not want to see because we are afraid of our power, and we are afraid of how big actually we are. And one of the reasons of the PMS syndrome is this huge voice of this goddess telling us the truth, and the resistance of the ego, of the personality, not wanting to know the truth. Because, for example, if you are in a relationship with a proper man, it's like when I say proper man, it's like the perfect man for your inner child that corresponds to what is perfect man for your mommy and daddy, for example. And goddess Hecate, she doesn't agree with this man. She doesn't like who this man is, because she's more connected to your authentic self. And maybe your authentic self would like to be with a totally different archetype of man. So if you are in a relationship with this guy, then most probably before your period, you will have a strong PMS syndrome, because this goddess is saying, look at him, I don't like him, please break up or whatever. And this inner child, I would say, these parts of yourself that do not want to betray what mommy and daddy want, or they do not want to go against what society wants, for example. All these parts, they suppress this voice of the goddess, and they're trying not to listen to her. Because if you listen to her, you're fucked up. Your whole life has to change. Because from the moment that you listen to that voice, it's impossible that you do not do something to change your life. This is what we are so much afraid to listen. We're not afraid to act. But we are afraid, first of all, we are afraid to see the truth. And then after we see the truth, of course, we can give ourselves some time to prepare for action. Or at least we can stay in a relationship with that guy who is like an unsalty soup. But at least we stay there consciously. We're not keep on lying to ourselves. And lying to ourselves is one of the most important reasons of the sickness that we can have. I mean, constant lying, it can create a lot of different health problems, also psychological problems, but physical problems too. For example, in the previous example, that woman probably would have constant urine infections, for example, or issues in her or gynecological problems, because probably her body doesn't want to have sex with this guy. Or maybe she has issues with her ears or her eyes because she doesn't want to listen or to see the truth. Of course, this is an example, but this is what is usually happening when we are in a situation that we go totally against the desire, the will of the spirit. And unfortunately, most of women today, of course, also men, but for women, it's even more difficult because we live in a patriarchal society. And even though we're supposed to be in the West free and independent, we are not so free and independent as we think, because deep inside, we are still trying to follow society and patriarchy. And we're trying to have the boyfriend that mommy and daddy wants, or the boyfriend that patriarchy wants, the work that they want. We definitely try to become mothers and have children because this is what society wants, and a lot more things. We even get dressed and we make up our hair the way that the Matrix wants. Now, what else? Goddess Hecate. Yeah, I would stay a little bit more in that introspection field. Because to be honest, okay, it's very easy to say, oh, to see the truth and to listen to the truth, but it's not easy at all. It requires huge balls to be able to see the truth. And I'm saying the words balls because it requires a lot of healthy masculine inside us. And what does this mean? It requires a lot of presence. When I go inside, whether this is by using a meditation technique or a meditation technique, actually, it's like an introspection technique, that for me, it's meditation, whether this meditation is dancing or is eating something and penetrating what I'm eating. Meditation is concentration in something or in nothing. So when we are using a meditation to go deep inside, we need to be full on present inside our physical body in order to hold space for whatever wants to be revealed. This is what I'm saying, big balls, and this is the sacred and the healthy masculine inside us. This is what many times we do in our exercises, that I say, okay, dive deep inside with your man and ask, how are you, my woman? So for example, for the previous example, if that woman, one day she sits and she meditates and her consciousness, her man, enters inside and says, okay, let me check a little bit the sector of my relationship. And this man asks the woman inside, that are actually the emotions, no, and the energy, how are you, my love? Then the woman would start like, shouting and saying, I am very bad, I'm horrible, I feel suppressed, I feel that I am not free, I do not enjoy my femininity, I do not enjoy having sex, I do not enjoy nothing. When am I going to enjoy? When I'm going to be 80 years old or whatever. So in order for this woman to be able to talk and speak the truth, this guy, when I'm saying guy, it is the presence, the consciousness inside us needs to be very total. Because what is happening with the unhealthy masculine, it is somewhere in the head and it's full of ideas, thoughts, or in the future or in the past. And of course, he is there because he's avoiding the Shakti, he's avoiding the woman inside the body. Yes, consciousness. Oh God, I know so many people. I mean, so many people who are living their whole life in a lie. I mean, I'm giving sessions since 2007, around then is when I started. I even have clients that are with me the last 10 years. And throughout all the journey, I can witness that this circle of keep on lying and lying. And it's not only that they're lying, but they're creating so many beautiful excuses in order to keep on being in this situation of lies. And besides the excuses, they love throwing the ball externally. He is the bad guy, or I cannot find work and I do not have money because of COVID, or because of the crisis, or because of whatever. So yeah, they're constantly generating excuses. And what I'm asking myself is, when are these people going to leave? Maybe they will never live their life. And there are many, many, many people out there, I would say the majority, who are not living their life and who will never live their life. And this is why we need to incarnate again and again and again. One of the reasons that we incarnate is in order to live our life. And it's so fucking difficult to live our life, because sometimes the way that we want to live our life goes totally against the way that mommy and daddy wants us to live our life, or religion, or society, or politics, or the magazines, or fashion, or whatever. And one last thing about Hecate. She is also good in setting up boundaries, in saying, hey, no, yes, no. As I said before, because she has big balls. And in order to be able to do that, you need to be full, whole, total, I would say. You need to be present for yourself. I always give the same example, but I love this example. There is this book of Don Miguel Ruiz. It's called The Mastery of Love. And he says, imagine you're in your house and your kitchen is empty and you're very, very, very hungry. And a pizza man is knocking on your door and he says, I'm going to give you this pizza for free. But as an exchange, I want you to serve me. I want you to do everything for me. So if you're starving, you will probably do it. You'll get the pizza, you'll eat the pizza, and then you will serve this guy. But if you have the whole kitchen full of food, then you will just tell him, fuck off, I'm not going to do anything. No, because you have food. And this is exactly the way that we can put boundaries. If we do not have food in our kitchen, then we're going to compromise again and again and again. Of course, don't get me wrong, compromising is not something bad. Well, it depends on how much you compromise. And this is the problem. So if, for example, I have lack of appreciation for myself, if I have lack of love, if I need the masculine, if I need a man in my life because I need him, not because I want to be with that guy, or if I have a lack of self-worth, then I won't be able to say to someone no. I won't be able to say no to an abuser, because there is a lack of something, and this lack of something needs to be filled up with whatever is coming from the outside world. And the only ones who are responsible about that is us. No one else outside has the responsibility for any abuse or anything that they do, and we do not put boundaries. And when I'm saying boundaries, I mean boundaries in all levels, and of course, physical, emotional, and energetic. The most difficult sector to put boundaries, because we are not aware of our energetic body. In the school, they teach us so many stupid things that actually we don't even remember half of it when we grow up. And they don't teach us very important things. Like, for example, we have an energetic body. What do we do with this energetic body? Or how do we deal with our emotions? And in order to put boundaries, as I said before, we need to be present. We need to be present in our body, especially energetic boundaries. If you're not present in your body, then you cannot, you cannot define your limits. And then you can easily let anyone in, or you can go inside someone else. That's it for Hecate. Do you have any questions? Let me stop recording.